You've felt it before. That invisible weight pressing down on even the simplest task. The message you keep meaning to reply to. The document you keep meaning to open. The goal that's been sitting quietly in the corner of your mind, waiting for the right time. It's not laziness. It's not lack of ambition. It's procrastination, the silent thief of potential. It never shouts. It whispers. It says, later. And somehow, later becomes never. We often treat procrastination like a moral failure, as if it means we're broken or undisciplined. But the truth is, it's not weakness. It's wiring. Your brain is designed to protect you from discomfort, from risk, from the pain of doing something uncertain. That's why big projects feel heavy, why even small tasks grow larger the longer you delay them. But what if the key to beating procrastination wasn't about building more willpower, but about making the task smaller, the rule that changes everything? That's where the 5-minute rule comes in. It's not a productivity trick or motivational slogan. It's a shift in perspective. When something feels impossible to start, you don't commit to finishing it. You commit to just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of studying, 5 minutes of cleaning, 5 minutes of writing. That's it. Because 5 minutes is short enough to silence the fear of starting and long enough to build real momentum. Psychologists call this behavioral activation. You act first, and motivation follows. See, we often believe that motivation comes before action, that we need to feel ready, inspired, or confident before beginning. But the science says the opposite. Action itself triggers motivation. The moment you start moving, your brain begins to release dopamine, not as a reward for finishing, but as encouragement to keep going. In other words, motion creates emotion. Starting, no matter how small, creates a chemical push to continue. Momentum in motion. That's why the 5-minute rule works so well. It tricks the brain's threat system. When your mind looks at a big project, it sees pain and uncertainty. But when it looks at a 5-minute task, it sees something harmless, manageable, doable. So you start. And once you start, inertia takes over. A body in motion stays in motion. And often, those first 5 minutes turn into 30, or 60, or a finished project you once dreaded. Think of a student staring at a blank page. They tell themselves, just 5 minutes. They write the title, then a sentence, then a paragraph. An hour later, they're deep into a paper that had terrified them all week. Or the artist who hasn't painted in months. They sit down to just mix colors and end up lost in creation. Or the runner who laces their shoes for a 5-minute jog and ends up running 5 kilometers. The 5-minute rule is the smallest promise with the biggest ripple. And it's not just about work. It's about life. The dishes piling up, the emails waiting, the goals you've postponed. Everything begins to shift when you stop thinking about finishing and start thinking about starting. It's a psychological doorway between resistance and flow. It's how you turn an overwhelming life into one built on small, consistent motion. The ripple effect. Because the war against procrastination isn't won in hours, it's won in moments. In that split second where you choose action over avoidance. The hardest part of any journey isn't the middle or the end. It's the beginning. The moment you move from stillness into motion. 5 minutes is your runway. Once you take off, you rarely land where you thought you would, but you always land further than you expected. When you look at people who seem endlessly productive or creative, they're not superhuman. They've simply learned to start before they feel ready, to trust that clarity and confidence come after action, not before it. The 5-minute rule isn't really about time at all. It's about permission. Permission to begin imperfectly, to move without certainty, to build progress without pressure. 5 minutes today, 5 minutes tomorrow. It adds up to habits, to progress, to transformation. The moments you thought were too small become the foundation for something much larger. You don't need to control the whole day, just the first 5 minutes of it. So the next time that familiar whisper returns, the one that says, later, answer it with action. Open the file, pick up the brush, write the first word, because 5 minutes can't solve everything, but it can change how everything starts. If this idea sparked something in you, even for 5 minutes. You'll love what's next. Subscribe to Under 5 Minutes, where we break down the psychology, systems, and stories that shape your mind, habits, and world. Always clearly, always fast, and always in under 5 minutes.